The Rewatchables is brought to you by the Ringer Podcast Network, where you can't find Kyle Brandt unless he comes on the Rewatchables, and it's been a while. You pushed for this. You've been watching a bunch. RoboCop.
Yes.
There's a new guy in town, and he's next.
He died a hero.
Target.
And was reborn as RoboCop. A one-man police force with the strength of an army, the speed of a laser, the brain of a computer, and a body made of steel.
Looking for me?
RoboCop, rated R.
Starts Friday, July 17th at a theater near you.
This episode of The Rewatchables is presented by Prime. You listen to this podcast for the movie talk. So let's set the scene. Our lead, tall, dark, stranded at the airport. Hours of delays. He's strolled, and loitered by every overpriced snack stand, but just when all hope seems lost. Plot twist. He remembers he has Prime, and with it, a whole library of free eBooks ready to read right from his device. Cue the triumphant score. Roll credits. Free eBooks library. It's on Prime. All right, Kyle Brandt, you pushed for this.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, we had this great conversation going into it, Bill, where I'm texting Bill and I say, RoboCop? And Bill responds, we have never done RoboCop. And I said, I'll buy that for $1. We're off and fucking running. I couldn't believe it hadn't been done. It's one of these, there's still gold in these Rewatchables hills. We found it. I'm thrilled to be doing it. I like RoboCop, Bill, because there's cool shooting and violence and funny lines. I love RoboCop because it should be a B movie, and it refuses to be. It decided to be an A movie. It doesn't have to be half as interesting as it is. It could have just been, we're Toomey Terminator, we got a robot who shoots people and it's violence, and we'll take your $5. This movie decided it has something to say, it has things to educate us on, and a lot of it is because of our guy, blood-stained horn dog, Dutch Paul Verhoeven, our guy, horniest man in Hollywood at this era, and he just composed a masterpiece here. I love this movie.
That would have been a great list for movies that just should have been a B and wouldn't accept the grade.
Yeah.
And we're like, we're going to be an A- here, or we might even be an A, because, there's some other good ones from the earlier 80s that are like that, I guess. Like Escape from New York's a good example. They were really trying, but at the same time, that's a B movie, and they just kind of elevate it beyond. This movie's really saying something, and then as the years pass, it becomes even more poignant, because it's basically like corporations are going to take over everything. Detroit is going to go bankrupt, or basically collapse, which it does in 2013. And then it's just really stylish, and it moves. Producer Craig was saying how when we sent it to him that it was like 102 minutes, start to finish. They make this movie now, it's probably, 145 minutes?
Oh, yeah. Well, if Marvel does it in the comic thing, it's 3 hours and 20 with an intermission and some bonus shit scene after the credits, all that. This doesn't have an ounce of fat on it. It's short.
Well, don't you think that this would now be a Marvel movie? I mean, that's the other thing is like they would have seen this as some sort of franchise, which it weirdly became, but I don't think they intended it to be a franchise when they made it, right?
No, and even more so than we think. The Marvel made a RoboCop comic book after this when they were merchandising it, and it was on lunchboxes and thermoses and cartoons and video games, and it was everywhere. There actually was a comic book, even in the 80s, that Marvel took over. So now it would be 6 different movies, and they would do everything with it. But the fact that Verhoeven took this thing and made it lean and mean and was like, Bill, like there's Jesus motifs here. There's thoughts about AI ahead of its time. And yet it's not all preachy, because just when they get into that, they'll give you a scene where RoboCop shoots somebody's dick off and you just laugh out loud. It does it all.
Well, and it has those news breaks too to always lighten it up. And, this is really, I don't know what you think the peak year was for villains over laughing as they're evil, but it's somewhere in the 80s. The Death Wish movies were doing it too. But these 3-4 people would get together. downtown wherever is just in complete disarray. They have guns. They're just blowing stuff up. They're laughing their asses off like it's the funniest thing ever. I don't know when this ended, and I don't know why I can't come back.
One of the details, too, that's in this movie, that's in a lot of those movies you're talking about, is that they're just casually, no big deal, doing drugs for the whole movie. Like, in this movie, they keep snorting these things, and they never even address what it is or what it does. But just between dialogue, Clarence Boddick will just get a quick double nostril blast, and then he's off and running. But it's not even addressed. And it's just, it's so fun, man. You mentioned I try to imagine, I didn't get to see this movie in the theater, thank God, because I was 8 years old. But did you see it in the theater?
I did.
All right, so when you're sitting down in the theater and you're like, all right, the RoboCop movie, cheesy name, let's see some guns. And the first scene out of the opening is the satirical news desk and then a fake commercial. Like, what the hell? Did I walk into the wrong movie? What is this? They're playing the wrong reel. It's really cool, though.
It's weird. When it came out, it felt like it got lost in that whole like Stallone, Schwarzenegger vortex we were in, where all these movies are coming out left and right, and Cobra and Running Man and Predator. And it's just an onslaught, right? So this is like, all right, what's this? This feels like a movie Stallone or Schwarzenegger could have been. And then you see it, and it's really stylish and well done. We didn't know a lot about Verhoeven back then. He had just like made his first American movie 2 years before. We did Flesh and Blood, which had some pretty racy nude scenes, which were a big deal on cable in the mid 80s. But I can't say I had high expectations. This was a classic. You just went to the movies every weekend. Hey, people are saying RoboCop's pretty good. I think the thing that shocked me was how good the reviews were in the moment and then after the fact. Like, this is now considered one of the best kind of science fiction, futuristic action movies ever made, which I don't think anyone was thinking in 1987.
No, small budget, unproven director, no major movie star, unproven villain, like all these technical aspects that they were going to pull off. And to your point, the fish are jumping into the boat in 1987. Like, it's so much muscle, so much machine gun. I bet all the critics sat down for this ready to hate it because, you get into it a lot, and a lot of people making the movie, they're like, we can't call the movie RoboCop. It sounds horrible. It's so cheesy. And I think you sit down for RoboCop and just expect schlocks, shoot 'em up idiocy, because that's what was running the day.
Yeah.
But then you're like, right out of the gates, we're satirizing cable news before cable news and politics. And it's just, the IQ is so high, and yet still the firepower is just so pleasing.
And it feels relatively realistic, even though it's insane as a movie. But every single thing they're doing it, and I'm like, maybe. Like, maybe corporations would buy out the police force as like a business move and then put in robots that would police 24/7. Like, it's not inconceivable in 1987. Could this be where we're going? I don't know.
Well, even just as employees, do you really think Bezos is not going to have Ed 209 stocking shelves like in the next 20 minutes? Like, it's all sitting right there. There's that scene where they first take RoboCop to the shooting range, and it's like, it's pulled out of 2025. They're like, it's not a cop, it's a robot. And the guy literally says, he's going to take all our jobs. And it's everything we're hearing now. It's AI at the shooting range and people really afraid of it. But they made this thing in 86. It's so cool. It's aged
and then
so
you
well.
think Rocky 4 is when Rocky gets the robot for Paulie.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So this is peak robots might be in our life, but we were 40 years early. But now, I don't know. They must have this in New York. They have it in LA, where these little robots that deliver stuff.
Sure.
Right? They have robot Waymos, basically those robot Ubers.
Yes.
So this stuff's now in our lives, but I think it took a lot longer than maybe the 1980s was anticipating.
Well, we were expecting hoverboards, but instead, when I go to Stop and Shop, there's this idiot robot in aisle 6 asking me if I want to scan anything, just getting in the way of my cart. I hate it. I don't like that stuff. I don't like those self-driven cars. They freak me out. I'm not riding in it. I don't like any of that stuff. I'm not
a good place to have sex.
Is that right?
Yeah. I mean, you lose your Waymo privileges, but for one time, it's a hell of a ride.
It's an F Shack just said there's no driver. Why the hell not?
Yeah, it's a big thing. It was a big thing for a while. Unfortunately, for the people in the car having sex, they're being videotaped the entire time. So, buyer beware.
Well, Taxi Cab Confessionals previewed that. That's 25 years ago as well. That's great. I got to try that. I just asked the wife.
So, Neumeier, one of the people that wrote this movie, after 2013, when Detroit went bankrupt and it was supposedly the most dangerous place in the United States, and Neumeier said, We're now living in the world that I was proposing in RoboCop, how big corporations will take care of us and how they won't. It's a mild, have a glass of settle down juice for him, but also like, he should maybe take a victory lap. I don't know. Some weird shit's happened since 1987.
Listen, the crash was coming when they wrote this. All this labor versus management, privatization, and Dick Jones's good business is where you find it. It's all very, very current. This should be like, people go back and watch Idiocracy now, and they say that that's aged really well. I would say if I'm a Gen Zer, watch RoboCop. If you don't like the violence or whatever, watch it for the politics. Like, they saw this stuff coming in the 80s, and they saw AI, and they saw privatization and government. I mean, it's right in the middle of the Reagan era. It's so politically reflective that you could watch this movie 20 years from now, and the special effects will look bad, but who cares? The movie works.
Yeah, and in the moment, they were talking about how it was like a repudiation of Reaganomics and trickle down, all that stuff. It was right as people were starting to turn against it, and then when the crash happened. But this is a really interesting time for movies, because on the one hand, in 1987 was a murderer's row of movies. I mean, it's one of the best rewatchables movies years we've ever had. But you have Gordon Gekko on the one side, where it's like greed is good, and this is like a whole motif that's all over the place in movies. Secret of my success. Like, I need to make as much money as possible. How do I make money right away? And then on the other hand, you have movies like RoboCop that are like, this is going to go badly. Like, just be careful what you wish for, everybody. And I don't know. I don't think anyone in the moment ever thought that this would be considered one of the smart movies of the 80s. But I think it is. Because Working Girl comes out in 87 too, and we did that on Rewatchables last month. But same kind of thing, like some of the stuff it's trying to do with females in the workplace, and it's like really ahead of its time, and this one was too.
Surprisingly, refreshingly progressive. Talking about the females in the workplace, there's a note where they call all the guys who kill Murphy, they refer to them, and the producers, they refer to as the gang. And the exec producer was, I want this gang to be diverse. And I'm not saying I don't want it to be all white guys. I don't want it to all be people of color. I don't want to make a racist movie. And this is 1986 when they're shooting this. There weren't a lot of people saying that. But you look at how that gang is casted, and it looks like 2025. It's really interesting, and I really respect what they were doing. Because again, just make a shoot 'em up movie with blood and guts and a robotic cop, and we're going to give you our $5. They didn't have to do that shit. They could have been a B movie, and they refused to be. It's awesome.
Another thing with this movie, just an all-time great premise. 24/7 RoboCops. Could it work?
Mm-hmm.
They have 3 directives: serve the public trust, protect the innocent, uphold the law. But directive 4 is classified.
Mystery. That's right.
I wonder what it is. And then we find out later. So 1987 Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Because you feel like this is maybe a bad movie for Detroit, or you could say, that's actually pretty good, Detroit, even though they filmed this movie in Dallas, which I found out in the research.
Oh, well.
1987 Detroit has RoboCop, Beverly Hills Cop 2, because it starts out there. The 1987 Pistons take Larry Bird and the Celtics to Game 7. It seems like they're going to win the title. First important Pistons basketball moment ever.
Yeah. They got next.
The Tigers, who won the title 3 years earlier, they won 98 games, almost made the World Series again. Red Wings made the conference finals for the first time in 6 years. Anita Baker's Rapture, huge. And then the Fab Five, Jalen Rose and C-Web, now playing together, AAU. Yes. Like the Fab Five is forming. I'll just go early. Apex Mountain for Detroit. I think this is it.
It's tough to beat until the Jared Goff Lions win a Super Bowl, which I don't know if that's happening. 87 was a hell of a time. And listen, the best high school football player in Detroit at that time, Jerome Bettis, that was 87. He was killing it, about to go to Notre Dame, not Michigan. They lost him. But like 87 Detroit was cooking. Like young.
Do we
Barry
have young
Sanders.
Eminem there too?
Well, he's definitely alive. I don't know if he's like drawing raps on the chalk on the sidewalk.
Let's throw him in. Let's help my case.
Come on in, buddy.
Come on in, Eminem. But great times all around. With Sanders, he wasn't on the Lions yet, though.
No,
right?
Sanders was 89 draft, so he was at Oklahoma State. He's coming. Well, they got their eyes on him.
The Lions are being bad and paving their way for Barry Sanders. Anyway, great time for Detroit. And then Verhoeven, so big Dutch filmmaker in the 70s. Did multiple Rutger Hauer movies overseas.
Dutch.
Have we done a movie with Rutger Hauer yet?
Have you done Blade Runner?
I don't think we have.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I can't think of a Rutger Hauer movie.
Well, the one that we would do is Nighthawks. If we wanted to go Stallone, Billy D. Williams, Stallone trying to zag away from Rocky. I don't know how you feel about Nighthawks.
I'm into Nighthawks. I'm into Lady Hawk as well. I like all that stuff.
Oh, yeah. So Hauer, he was basically like Dutch Robert Redford, even though he was German, whatever. But he was in all these different movies that Verhoeven did. So he bangs out RoboCop, Total Recall, and Basic Instinct in a 6-year run. Those are 3 movies in a row that he made that we have now all done in the Rewatchables. Little horny, apparently a complete asshole on the set.
Yes.
Didn't really understand how American film sets worked and just yelled at everybody until people rebelled. And then after Basic Instinct, an all-time classic, created a historical epic based around the Crusades that would have starred Arnold Schwarzenegger. It went into pre-production in 1993, and then our guys from Carolco pulled funding from the project because they were going bankrupt. We're back. Yet another podcast with Carolco.
The boys are back in town.
Their bankruptcy cost us an Arnold Schwarzenegger, Paul Verhoeven Crusades movie.
Yeah. See, I bet the Carolco financiers, there was a scene in the Crusades movie where one of the women was topless and had 3 breasts, and they couldn't afford it for the budget. So they're like, I'm sorry, Paul, you can't bring her back. She's still goated, but we just can't afford it. That blew up the whole project.
Well, he got pissed and ends up ripping off Showgirls a year later. Starship Troopers and Hollow Man. And then it kind of ends for him. But he's got like a nice 15-year run there of movies I would watch on cable. Starship Troopers, what's your relationship with that one?
Love Starship Troopers, love Johnny Rico. Hilarious football scene, co-ed shower scene. A lot to like in that. Neil Patrick Harris with a machine gun. Bill, when the call comes in for Starship Troopers, full disclosure here, when I was a freshman on the college on the football team, the seniors all nicknamed me Johnny Rico after Casper Van Dien. So that nickname hung with me for a while.
Save it for the Starship Troopers podcast. I mentioned 87 as one of the great Rewatchables years. Yeah. And we've done a few of these. The number one movie that year by in year releases was 3 Men and a Baby.
Directed by Leonard Nimoy. Inexplicably. Yes, Spock directed that movie.
Everything about that movie is inexplicable. I don't even know what would happen if that guy, could that even be an Amazon scripted show now? 3 Men and a Baby?
All right,
Such a weird premise.
You're talking about 3, I don't know, like losers who all live together, who are 40 years old, have a baby, and inexplicably in the middle of the movie, there's a cocaine plot line that I'm not even sure why it's there. And then Spock directed it. There's a ghost kid in the background. There's all kinds of shit going on with that movie.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't hit the key premise hard enough that these 3 dudes who were like 38, 41, and 43 all just live together. And we're all single. And just this baby shows up. Anyway, that was our number 1 movie. Fatal Attraction, Beverly Hills Cop 2, Good Morning Vietnam, Moonstruck is our top 5. Untouchables, Secret of My Success, Stakeout, Lethal Weapon, Dirty Dancing, Predator.
Bangers. Jesus.
Dragnet, La Bamba, RoboCop, Outrageous Fortune, Broadcast News, Living Daylights, Eddie Murphy Raw, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, Full Metal Jacket, Wall Street, Mannequin, Roxanne, Blind Date, The Running Man, Spaceballs, Summer School. You must have loved Summer School. Who didn't?
Mark Harmon, Mr.
Come
Shoot,
on.
hell yes.
No Way Out. We've done that one. The Lost Boys, Can't Buy Me Love, Princess Bride, Baby Boom, Tin Man, Black Widow. That's just our top 50. And that's before you get into Raising Arizona and Big Easy and Angel Heart and Over the Top came out that year. Less Than Zero, just like Someone to Watch Over Me. We've done, Jesus Christ, Kyle Brandt.
You mentioned Over the Top as like 30th billion on that, and it's not even above the fold. More good movies in 1 year than we've had in the last 25 years. I love you, Sean Fennessy. I'm sorry. That was an incredible list that Bill just rattled off.
Rewatchable movies, too.
All
like movies that could just be on cable all the time. So kudos to 1987. Kudos to this movie with, I'm going to call it a That Guy Tsunami.
Let's go. Hey, let's get into it. It's so good. I got a bunch of them.
There's that guys who stopped being that guys. Ronnie Cox became Ronnie Cox.
Yeah.
Kurtwood Smith became Kurtwood Smith.
Smith.
I don't know if Miguel Ferrer became Miguel Ferrer or he just became that guy who I knew from this movie and 5 other movies. It depends. I know him as Miguel Ferrer, but I don't know.
I don't know him as Miguel Ferrer.
Okay.
Passed away, but I think of him. He's in some stuff. He's a great actor. He's the RoboCop guy for me.
So he is Bob Morton in this movie.
Yeah.
Who has the cocaine threesome when he's snorting cocaine off the cleavage, which was a mid-'80s staple. Kurtwood Smith is in this. And then 3 years later, the dad in Dead Poets Society. Let's do this now. Who's the bigger villain? Because he plays in this movie, he plays Clarence Boddicker.
Yeah.
And then he plays Neil's dad in Dead Poets Society, who drives Neil to offing himself and finds his body in the office. Says, Neil, my boy.
It's a terrible
Neil. I
terrible.
hate that guy so much. I hate that guy more than Clarence Boddicker.
All right, this is a first round knockout. Clarence Boddicker is the drug addicted psycho asshole who torture murders a cop, and Neil's dad is 50 times worse.
Yeah,
drives his kid to suicide because he doesn't want him to be in the goddamn play, even though he shows talent. And people say that Kurtwood Smith is like the nicest, most generous person. I never watched that 70s show. I know he's massive in that, but they're like, he could not be a nicer guy to work with. What a great actor.
Drove Neil to his death.
Terrible.
And then Ronnie Cox, who was Bogomil in Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2.
Yep.
He's in Beverly Hills Cop 2 in 1987 as he finally gets to play a bad guy. He plays a bad guy for Verhoeven in this, and then Total Recall.
Yeah.
So,
and loves being the bad guy and is great at the bad guy.
But then we have that redheaded guy from ER.
Yeah.
He eventually, while he's walking with a cane in ER a million years later, you know that guy. He plays your guy Emil in this.
Emil, yes.
Who ends up dying in toxic waste.
I can't wait to talk about that scene.
Yeah.
Emil also had a 1-season run as, I think he was Jack Bauer's brother in 24. Like, I love that guy. I don't know his name, but he's Emil, and he's also a great actor. What are you, a college boy? It's great.
He's always up to stuff. Nancy Allen is the female cop in this. So she's married to Brian De Palma. She's in Dress to Kill. She's in Blowout.
Yeah.
She earlier on was in Carrie. Yeah. Has this whole run. This is kind of where it's about to end for her.
Sure.
And Verhoeven, because he wanted this movie to be as asexual as possible, told her to gain weight, which she did by not smoking anymore, and then just kept giving her a haircut until they gave her the one she liked. And they basically they Cagney and Lacey'd her just full-fledged, and there's no sexual tension at all.
We have to stop the clock. I had it. When does Lewis's hair first come up in the pod? I knew this was going to be a point of conversation. It's an important conversation. If you had the under, I think you won. Kept making her cut her hair like 5 times to desexualize her. And my take on it, I think it's awesome. It's a total zag. Why have some some sex pot in the female lead instead of a person who actually looks
a Sharon
like a
Stone?
cop?
She's sitting right there.
She was coming. They were all coming. He's horny as hell, and despite that, he's like, no, let's have the cop be a badass female cop. They weren't doing that back then. They just weren't. You choose some Baywatch-looking girl, and she goes and she's hot, and they have a sexual tension. Not at all. Lewis is a cool character. I like her.
Well, he had some vision for the future that was basically asexual, because that locker room scene that's near the beginning is important. The police locker room. And we see guys' asses. All of a sudden, there's a naked lady. They're all together. And nothing is sexual at all.
No. And he ran that back to Starship Troopers. He likes the co-ed showers. I don't know if, sometimes I go to a restaurant now, especially in New York, more than ever, when you go back to the bathrooms, there's not men's and women's. There's just bathrooms, and everybody waits. I did it last night. Verhoeven was all over that, but there's not a men's and women's room. Not where I went last night. You just wait with everybody.
There's one place in Boston where it's a giant bathroom, and there's just different stalls, but it's men and women, and then the common sink, and it's
that Fenway Park?
Come out of it's the Quinn. This place in Boston.
Oh, the Quinn. Yeah.
You come out of one, and you could be like, you could have been talking to somebody like in the bar, and she's coming out of the other stall after you sort of them blowing it up. Like that's, I don't know.
And she comes out, she's got toilet paper on her foot, and she just blew up that thing, and you're like, oh no, what's that over there? You run out.
Hey, I gotta run. My dad called. He's getting surgery tomorrow. And then Peter Weller, who just kind of became RoboCop. I don't even know what else you would know him from.
I had this conversation ready have never seen a Peter Weller film that is not RoboCop. And he's done a lot. He also was in a season of 24, but I am a one character guy for Peter Weller. All due respect to Peter Weller, like theater actor, very conscientious guy. I don't have it, Bill. I'm sorry. I don't know the other stuff.
Well, there's some great stuff we have coming up for him later about some of his choices he made on the set in this movie that I can't wait to talk about.
Come on.
$13.4 million budget, made $53 million. 2 sequels, then the remake in 2014 with Joel Kinnaman and Abby Cornish. What's your relationship with that movie?
No relationship. My relationship is when you scan the cast, holy shit, they spent money. Michael Keaton's in that movie. Sam Jackson's in it. Gary Oldman just picking up a check as the scientist. Like they're like, we went cheap on RoboCop, so give us all the big money guys. And still, you know what they did? They rated it fucking PG-13. Get out of here with that. Get out of here. Give me an R.
My shade just fell.
I saw it. It was like God looked down on you. Look at that. That was dramatic, Bill.
I'm going to fix it when we go to break.
Okay.
The Roger Ebert 3 stars. Most thriller and special effects movies come right off the assembly line. You can call out every development in advance and usually be right. RoboCop is a thriller with a difference. Raj. I got to be honest. Could have gone 3.5 stars there, Raj.
Absolutely.
Like could have thrown in the half star for how ahead of the time this movie was, but whatever.
Yeah. When we get to like what's age the worst, I'm looking at you, bud. I don't have a ton of what's age is the worst. I've had a lot of what's. You're gonna carry the day on that one.
Yeah, we're gonna take a break. I'm gonna fix my shade. This is my last podcast in here before the shades. We have actual shades, and we'll be back in a second. This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Having the right people in your corner make all the difference. Just think of all the people we cycle in and out as co-hosts here on the Rewatchables. I send texts. Hey, you like this movie? Hey, you like that movie? All of a sudden, Van Lathan's like, I love that movie. Chris Ryan's like, I love that movie. And by the way, can we do Hunt for Red October again? Like those people, State Farm is there to help you choose the coverage you need. With so many coverage options, it's nice knowing you have help finding what fits for you. Go online at statefarm.com or use the award-winning app to get help from one of their local agents. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. All right, first category, most rewatchable scene. Murphy, listen, this probably isn't even in the running, but I love when Murphy shows up for his first day. I love the 80s police stations.
Fantastic.
We've talked about this before. They're action-packed. Shit's going down. Wisecracks left and right. Bad guys just wander in and get beaten up. I like anytime a cop says to another cop, "Welcome to hell." Feels like a staple. Nancy Allen gets to kick someone's ass. I don't know. I just enjoy those police station scenes.
There's always perps being pushed through across camera. One of them always fights one of the cops, and then you have the really grumpy ranking officer who's tired of this shit. Always the same thing. And the shirt that Murphy walks in with is so 1987. I almost thought about picking it for the most 1987 thing. Silk top button patterned. That scene is really fun to watch.
I don't know. I don't think police stations move that way anymore. It's probably like way harder to get into. There's probably all these checks and balances. But back then it just felt like anybody could just wander in and take a swing at a cop.
Anytime you want. And I also don't think the cops brought the perps in or just like book them and throw them against a desk and then walk out. Like that, they always do that in TV shows, but I think it's probably really rigorous. Yeah,
my favorite movie ever, 48 Hours. There's a whole, after all the cops get wasted in the hotel and Cates goes back to the station and he's just wandering around. He's barking at people. He's getting yelled at by his boss and he's looking at Henry Wong's photo and it's just moving in this way that I just don't think they do anymore.
It's always Murphy, my office, now. Right. Like it's just simple commands. That's the whole vibe. God, I love that shit.
Next scene is, are we calling it Ed 209 or ED 209?
Ed 209. Ed 209, yeah.
When do you think they moved it from ED to Ed?
I think it was just sitting there, and I think it was right. They had a lot of problems with Ed 209, as we know. But I think it was late in production. A lot.
Old Detroit has a cancer. This demo of Ed 209, big loser, Mr. Kinney. Who wants to volunteer? There's 20 people at the table. Mr. Kinney's like, I'm gonna get some brownie points for this one. I'd love to volunteer. This is the 20 seconds when they realize it's malfunctioning.
You now have 15 seconds to comply. You are in direct violation of Penal Code 113, Section 9. You now have 5 seconds to comply.
And Mr.
You have
King,
15 seconds, and the
Chad
mosh
second.
pit breaks out.
and Mr. King, it's a mosh pit.
It's chaos.
I like when they're throwing him back.
Yes.
The best part, he gets shot, I don't know, 40 times. This is where
Horrific.
Verhoeven's like, you're in for a ride today. And the guy's lying on the table. He's got 40 bullet holes. And somebody goes, somebody want to call a goddamn
Ridiculous.
paramedic? It's like, we're past the paramedic.
They got to laugh
now
out loud
cleanup
in the
crew.
screening when he did that. I wonder who that actor is. I mean, what a line. What a fucking line.
So like, Dick, I'm very disappointed. That's what Dick's boss says. You're disappointed that Ed 209 put 40 bullets into one of your board members? That's a bummer for you?
There's that, and then there's Bob Morton in the elevator, and they're like, too bad about Kenny. Hey, that's life in the big city. No, it's not.
He's pumped.
Life in the big cities, you can't find affordable housing. What you just saw was a tragedy. What are you doing? Terrible.
I also feel like you're not in the elevator like 4 minutes after that happens.
No.
I would say that has to be in the running for the single craziest board meeting anyone's ever had. Like,
Yeah,
we're
there's
going to
another one coming at the end
demonstrate.
of the movie.
We're going to demonstrate Ed 209 to everybody. Oh, what was the guy's name? Oh, Kenny's dead. What happened to Kenny? He got shot 42 times. We had a malfunction.
You're so right about Kenny too. He volunteers as if he's like at a magic show and gets to go up and close his eyes and be hypnotized or something. He's so excited to be up there. Because if you're at a kid's birthday or something, you're like, come on, Dad, help us out. And you feel like a celebrity because you're
All
on
his
stage.
bosses are there. He's like, I can't wait.
I'm going to show off. And the next thing, they're ripping the cables out of the production board for Ed 209. It's an unbelievable scene.
Listen, I'm just telling you right now, that's my number one. When RoboCop's in the beginning and that's coming, it's like, oh man, I got to see what happens with Ed 209.
It's so true.
This next one, I mean, this is just ripping off rewatchable scenes coming out of the gate. The car chase, Clarence Boddicker's lair.
Sure.
Great warehouses in the 80s and movies.
I know.
We always had there's never any workers. They're always empty, but they always have all these things, and there's always cranes and things, and then Murphy ends up dying.
It's always what should we do for the final act? I don't know. How about a shootout in the steel mill? Yeah, that's perfect.
Right.
It's always that.
A lot of places to hide. There's like elevation. You could have bad guys looking down. You could have guys getting shot and falling over the walkways.
Lava. And as we find out, like a giant 5,000 gallon thing of toxic waste that we'll talk about. I saw Murphy's death, I think on cable or video when I was in maybe 5th grade. Really, really upsetting to me. I watched it way too young. So where do you come out? Because Weller is acting his ass off. Do you think it's like, is it funny to watch him because he's acting so hard, or does it mess with you? Like when you watch it?
You know what? A couple things. They're in the van chase, and Clarence throws out one of the bad guys. Goes, "Can you fly, Bobby?
Can you fly, Bobby?"
Whips him out into the car.
Great line.
Has been repeated since in other movies. Like Cliffhanger did it. There's been, but I do feel like they invented the move of, to show how evil the lead evil guy is, he just immediately sacrifices one of the henchmen. But then that leads to all the other people that work for him got to be like, well, what? He just killed Bobby. Like, am I next? Like, how would you be able to stay loyal to Clarence at that point?
Hey, don't burn the fucking money. He was so pissed he burnt the money. And I feel like I would be pissed too. I empathize with Clarence there. Like, he just pulled out all the fucking money is burnt, you idiot. It's like the poor man on the group project who messes the whole thing up. I get it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, you asked, am I scarred by that scene?
Like, were people laughing in the theater or were they horrified? I'm wondering. Because it's very...
I think the worst part of it, it's weird. It's not the 30 times he gets shot. The first one where he shoots his hand when he's like moving the gun around like he's going to shoot him, and you're like, oh, he's just fucking with him. And then he just fucking blows off his hand, and Weller's like, I know. And I think that is weirdly the worst part of it. Because then after that, he's going to die. No, it's... I think this is the okay motherfucker award for the exact moment when this movie goes up a notch. I don't think it's it's not Ed 209.
You don't think it's Ed?
I don't. I actually think it's this because Ed 209 is still fun and comic-y and, that's such a ridiculous scene. This is like, oh my God. They fucking just murdered the main guy.
10 minutes in and horribly. I think it's so funny you mentioned the okay motherfucker because like some of the secrets of this movie is I think that the okay motherfucker moment has like there's like 4 or 5 moments of those where you're like, it's just like even in the last 10 minutes when you get toxic waste guy and the car hits him, you're like, Jesus, they just did it again. I didn't even need that. I was ready for the credits. It has 5 of them. And certainly like the execution is one. I still watch it and Lee blows his hand off. I think Weller's acting is so good and so heartbreaking. Like I feel terrible for him. I was disturbed as a kid. I was disturbed now. It's one of the hardest scenes to watch of violence, like I think in film history. I think it's very difficult to watch.
Yeah, from an okay motherfucker standpoint, and this movie does have like 5 or 6. It is almost like a great professional wrestling match. We were like, man, that bump, like a ladder match. Wow, that bump they took, that was amazing. That's got to be the peak. And then finally we peak with Toxic Waste Guy, which is coming up in a little bit. RoboCop's first day.
Mm-hmm.
We get the I'd buy that for $1 guy. We get him wiping out the convenience store robber. We get him.
Can you explain the I'd buy that for $1 guy? What's going on with those TV shows?
Well, hey, can I have you both?
Sure. We've had our shots.
I'd buy that for $1.
It's an incredibly important question. So mid-'80s is right as they're trying to spruce up local ads and cable ads. And like the one in New York, that was the big one, was Crazy Eddie. It's like Crazy Eddie. And you can watch some of those on YouTube. That was one of the first ones I remember. But the ads were like really grab you by the throat, just like nutty ads. So I think they're trying to say it's only going to get nuttier, right?
It's the wacky commercial. There's some Benny Hill stuff going on. And I think they're just looking at like television in the future is just going to be like boobs and stupid catchphrases. It's like that Ricky Gervais character. You having a laugh? It's really stupid. And they think it's funny. The guy that they got to do that, I'll buy that for $1, was this like K-Rock personality who just did wacky characters. And he just, the I'll buy that for $1 line, no one who made the movie, like, you really knew that was going to be a thing, but it became this recurring thing. And the joke is, I guess, like, I don't really believe you. But when you talk about RoboCop, invariably someone says, I'll buy that for $1. That's usually the line they say.
I think it's the most famous line from the movie.
More than any RoboCop lines. I agree with you.
Yeah, I think it is. Well, the most famous shot in the movie is when he shoots the rapist in the crotch.
No doubt.
He's gonna kill her, man! He's gonna kill her!
Your move, creep.
By shooting through the woman's legs in the skirt. I got to be honest, one of the great shooting scenes for our good guy hero in any movie. Like aiming it through. I don't know if it could happen with a human. It's got to be RoboCop. And then he, tells her right about the crisis center right afterwards. Just by the way,
with a heart.
Yeah.
See, to me, that's another okay motherfucker. Like that you jump out of your seat when he does that. Unanswerable question. God forbid. Do you think anywhere there is ever a police officer who's tried that move because they were inspired by RoboCop? I fucking hope not. Because, like you said, he has a computer targeting system.
Yeah,
Take it easy, guys.
Yeah, please do not emulate this. We have Mayor Gibson's office.
Yep. Deranged
former city councilman Ron Miller is in there, and RoboCop just cleans him out. And then it all goes right to Lisa Gibbons. RoboCop. Who is he? What is he? I have some Lisa stuff coming up. I can't wait to talk about Lisa.
Was Lisa important for you?
I can't wait to talk about it. RoboCop returns to his house. That's when the movie starts to have the human piece to it, right? Like after, and he's like, I'm getting these flashbacks. You love that part.
Do you, let me ask you this. If there was going to be a pee break, this is it. Do you get pee break vibes from him going back to his house?
But I think the whole part when they're kind of assembling him before he becomes RoboCop is a good pee break. This is like maybe make some popcorn right here.
Yeah, it's it has. You have to have the scene, like it's the heart, and it's his kids and all that. And I like the computers, like the monitors with the talking realtor in there and everything. Like, I wish they had those for real. But if you were going to pee break, this would be it.
Here's why it's important, though. You need it because it all leads to the payoff at the end.
Yeah.
I'm Murphy. I'm cashing you out, Bob, is the next one. This includes Bob, I guess, headed for a cocaine-fueled threesome.
Yeah.
We get some cleavage snorting, which I think was a big 80s thing. I'm not sure. Are people still doing that? What's the Craig, is the cleavage snorting still in the mid-2020s?
Well, my birthday's tomorrow, so I'll let you know what goes down in Manhattan Beach.
Happy birthday. Okay, good luck.
No, now they line up some zins on the breasts and they just tuck them into their lips like that. However you do that shit, Craig. I don't know how to do it. But I think Wolf of Wall Street is kind of probably apex for breast cocaine line snorting.
It's a great point.
Margot Robbie.
Great point. I have no notes. RoboCop crashes the Clarence cocaine party and then the cocaine factory.
Yep.
I love I forgot to mention in this, because we have Clarence killing Bob Miller, right? He blows him up with the grenade.
Yep.
But when he tells the girls to leave, he does the bitches leave.
Unbelievable entrance.
Puts the DVD in. I'm not sure, aren't you worried maybe they could recover the DVD and scrub it? And we could do that in 19. I don't know if that was I would have taken the DVD out before I blew the house up.
When he takes out that DVD, it was like, holy shit, what is that thing? It was like he took out some sort of magical wand or something. No one could believe that a CD could play a video in 1987. It blew you away about the technology. And then I think
that's a really good point. We didn't have DVDs, until 10 years later. Not even close.
No, it was.
So I guess it was a CD.
It was a DVD.
Did this movie invent DVDs?
I think it did, dude. I think it did. I'd never seen one before that.
Yeah, because if it was a DVD, it would have taken him 3 minutes to play it. He would have been like, hold on. Just wait a second. Oh, I'm back in the menu. Fuck.
Dick Jones commentary of video. Yes, menu.
But then we get the cocaine factory, RoboCop killing everybody.
Yeah.
It has one of my favorites from the 80s, and I feel like we've lost it. The bad guy who gets shot falling backwards, shooting the next bad guy. I feel like we've lost the narrative on those. Let's bring that back.
If you were a bad guy in the 80s who was shot by a weapon, you would always shoot as you were falling down.
You had shoot up or shoot sideways. Yeah.
Or worse, spin.
Right.
Because then the whole posse goes. I do have to call attention to something in that scene. It's the Marion Cobretti cutting pizza with scissors award for someone has to step in and say this would never happen. Why is the greasy drug lord walking around the coke house with an estate Cabernet in his wine glass? And then why, when Clarence puts his fingers to it, does he keep drinking? That whole scene reeks of Cobra and the scissors and the pizza. It doesn't make any sense. It's ridiculous.
Do we have that award, or did you just invent it?
Just made it up, top of my head. Well,
Craig, write that down. That's a good award.
Why
didn't anyone intervene on the set?
Yeah, someone needs to step in and say, guys, this would never happen. The Cobra eating pizza with scissors award. The wine thing is, they tried to give the guy a prop to make him like a Bond villain. It doesn't work. It's this stupid sequence with the fingers. And what are we doing?
You're Clarence Boddicker. You're the king of, I'm writing this down in the Rewatchables category. I really want to add that. So what is it called? Do you think it's
called the Marion Cobretti Cutting Pizza with Scissors Award.
Yeah. Okay. I got it.
For something that would never happen.
Yeah. That's a great award. Great job.
Thank you.
Really earned your keep already. We have so much of the podcast left. It's now you're just we have a 38-7 lead.
Yeah. Well, we haven't even gotten a hot take.
We just run the ball. We don't even need to do anything else now. All right. I have RoboCop takes his helmet off, that whole scene. The bad guy's blowing up stuff while evil laughing. Mentioned that earlier. I like it. And then the big shootout. Let's talk about toxic waste meal.
Awesome. Oh, Bill, yours is perfect. Bill, that's better than your Nell. That's your best impression. Step aside, long legs.
Toxic waste meal. Might have to add him into the long legs part.
And how great is his boy when he goes, "Don't touch me, man." That's exactly what you would say. Exactly.
They also, with his death scene, he hits the car hits him in his head just immediately comes off, hits the car. It's like a watermelon. They said they filmed that and it was like an unexpected bonus when the head went forward and hit the windshield. They were hoping it would happen, but they didn't know. And then that happened. And then sayonara RoboCop. And then I guess the end where he kills
Dick Jones
and in the end with Murphy. So what do you got for most rewatchable scene?
It's definitely not the torture of Murphy. Listen, the Bob Morton's apartment from start to finish is a perfect scene. It's sex, drugs, rock and roll, and Verhoeven was just cooking. Yeah, I love that one. But RoboCop's in it. So what was your suggestion for? It was the between the leg shot, right?
I have Ed 209.
Ed 209.
I just think that's when the movie really grabs you by the balls and is like, we're coming for a ride.
So imagine that. You picked that as the most rewatchable scene and RoboCop's not even in it. And I get it. Like that. Yeah. That's this movie. It's awesome.
Craig, what'd you have for most rewatchable scene?
It's honestly, I love all the boardroom scenes. I love the people who work in the office, all these like loser guys. The guy saying, "That's life in the big city."
Awesome.
That love all that.
It's very Succession Waystar Logan Roy.
Yeah.
You could see Ed 209 coming in because Roman's like, "Dad, I got this new idea for crime robot, Ed 209." And then the robot shoots Carl. What's the most 1987 thing about this movie? A lot of options.
What do you got?
The stop motion robot special effects, which were very...
Do you like them? Do you like now watching it? Does it bother
way
you?
better than Terminator. Terminator's 3 years earlier. I just thought, I don't know. It's kind of charming. Now they would be, 100% better.
I adore him. It's the guy. He's like the goat of stop motion. Phil Tippett's the guy who did the chess scene in Star Wars. He did the walkers and Empire Strikes. He's like the Michael Jordan of stop motion. Did Ed 209. I think charming is the word. I like it. It kind of still is cool, and I like it better than all the CGI. I like it. Stands up.
Me too. Over the top 80s street thugs. That's in there. Somebody watching 8 TVs through a window on the street is very 80s. Nobody. Awesome. When was the last time somebody watched 8 TVs in a window in a store?
I don't know.
No store would put the TVs in the window because somebody would just break the window and take the TVs. Plus,
Correct.
you have the plasmas. There'd be like no way to do it. You couldn't even sit them up. Lee Iacocca Elementary School is snuck in there.
Great pull. That's a little Easter egg you don't catch the first time around with RoboCop.
Could have won. Falling out of a building backwards because Die Hard has it too. I feel like that was some sort of era for that shot. It always looked fake. But your winner is Lisa Gibbons. She's the most 1987 thing about this movie.
Talk about it. Let's go. I love Lisa.
I mean, Lisa. So Mary Hart's in there. Mary Hart, I think, has, kind of killing. I forget when Mary Hart joined Entertainment Tonight, but it was before, or they were kind of on each other's corner. When did Mary?
80s. I would say 88. She and John Tesh used to hold it down. I remember.
Mary Hart. All right, I'm looking on Wikipedia. Yeah, we're in the 86 range. So she was earlier than Lisa Gibbons.
Okay.
Lisa comes in. It's a little, Mary Hart's like, she's established. Like she's about to be in a Seinfeld episode when Kramer hears her voice. Like she's the OG. Lisa Gibbons comes in. It's a little Ultimate Warrior to Hulk Hogan. Like I'm going to come in. My entrances are going to be louder. I'm going to be bringing a little more. There was a little more sex appeal with Lisa, and she had a great run. And every high school kid had a crush on her in the 80s. I'll tell you that much, including this guy right here.
I can tell. And it's not Lisa, it's Lisa. L-E-Z-A.
Lisa. Yeah, there's like an automatic. Just felt a little pornish, a little stripperish. Just the name gave her like this extra sauce. Meanwhile, she's competing against Mary Hart. Right?
All American.
The least sexual name. It's like Lisa Gibbons. But I always dug her.
There's a funny red carpet moment when James Gandolfini was still alive and he ran into Mary Hart and she's trying to interview Tony Soprano and he says to her, "You were my childhood crush." Like he loved Mary Hart. Personally, I was a Nancy O'Dell guy. Still am for life. Love Nancy O'Dell on that circuit. Love her. Wonderful woman.
What's aged the best? We mentioned in Future Crime-Ridden Detroit. We mentioned Kurtwood Smith playing a bad guy.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on Dead or Alive? You are coming with me. Murphy says it, then Robo says it. I enjoy that they have the callback.
I like the callback. I like the writing. This is a lot of time. This is one of many times we'll talk about this. This movie comes up against Terminator, and it's kind of the version of I'll Be Back. It sets up deliberately to be a catchphrase. It's short, concise, it works. And when he says it the second time at the gas station and Emil recognizes it, it's a really good moment. His acting is really good in that scene.
I have a bunch of other ones. Do you have any What's Age the Best you're passionate about?
Yeah, I'm passionate about two villains in a movie is awesome. I think that works.
Oh,
you have
double
Boddicker,
villains.
you have Dick Jones. Think about Dark Knight has two villains, Silence of the Lambs has two villains, Return of the Jedi has two villains, and you kill one and then there's still business to take care of. I think that works a lot, and it really works here with Dick Jones and Boddicker.
So like two elite pass rushers in the NFL, but better?
Yeah, it's like
What's
the
the
96
sports
Packers had Sean Jones and Reggie White, and it's like, shit,
Yeah.
we can't chip block everybody. You can't double team Boddicker, and then Dick Jones is going to get you. Exactly like that.
It's like the Steelers if TJ Watt was still good, what they would
Oh,
have. Yeah, sorry,
on.
Craig. I just want to make
Is
sure
TJ
Craig was
Watt
paying attention.
washed, Bill? What was
TJ
that?
talking about?
TJ Watt took the last 6 weeks off of the season last year. He was there in uniform only.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well,
We'll see, Craig. Here's a good one. So Emil stops to get gas for his motorcycle.
yeah,
Did you notice the price of the gas?
I did not.
$5.79.
Oh, he got it on Fountain in Hollywood, huh? Wow.
It's literally Age the Best because I think that's right what the price is now. Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah. Media Break as a futuristic news show, it feels kind of has internet bones, right?
Sure.
I could see Media Break being some weird YouTube channel that has 15 million subscribers. You don't know how many of them they bought.
Right.
So yeah, they probably bought 14.5 million of them, but still. Media Break, doing well.
Sure. Love it.
Axios is thinking of buying them.
Bring them in, get new talent, and just churn out takes all day long. Verhoeven loved the American news. He was like really amused by it because he's like,
Yeah.
in Holland, like it was just one man with a graphic over his shoulder. But in the United States, it's like two people like kind of laughing all the time in between stories. He's like, I thought it was so funny. And it is funny. It's a weird thing that we did and still do.
It's still really funny. He dialed it up at the end where they would go to break and it would just close in on their eyes and there would just be the screen of 20 eyes. I thought for What's Age the Best, the 6,000 SUX is fucking hilarious.
Talk about it. Hell yes.
These new SUVs, they call it the SUX, but I don't know when SUVs really started, but it was right around then. And they're just, Verhoeven's like, we're going after this.
It was the transition because they used to be minivans, and that
Yeah.
was all through the 80s, early 90s, mid 90s. You started seeing like your Chevy Blazer, and the Jeeps became big, and the S6000 SUX. This car sucks, but bigger is better. And they do the stupid dinosaur commercial.
Yeah.
That's the stuff that makes this movie fun. I love it.
Couldn't agree more. Also making the movie fun. Anytime a movie character is named Dick, which we don't really have anymore because nobody would name their kid Dick. But in the 80s and 90s, we had a lot of Dicks.
This is a fantastic take. Go ahead.
When somebody does the pause
Yes.
before they say Dick, and we see this in there, it's like, Dick. It just works every time. We need more Dicks.
I take that soundbite and loop it. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I just fucked myself for
you're fine.
life.
You know what's the
The
perfect
good thing
one?
is the internet is always nice about this stuff, and they won't do we need more dicks at all.
Awful announcing. Bill Simmons, we need more dicks.
Yeah.
Get it, boys.
Bill Simmons eviscerates dicks.
But the guy who does it, exactly what you're saying, our guy John Bender, when he's talking to Vernon, expect better manners from you, dick. And it's name
There's
your
another
bad guy's dick. It always works.
This was the heyday for dicks.
Hell yes.
I
Apex Mountain for dick. Right.
I love tidbits like this. The RoboCop suit was so hot and heavy that Peter Weller was losing $3 pounds a day from water loss.
Incredible.
They had to put an air conditioner in the suit so he didn't basically become emaciated.
Can we talk about Weller in the suit for a sec?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on this.
All right. So the suit kind of strikes me as maybe as like the shark in Jaws, where it was really difficult to work with, very, very problematic. But Weller shows up to this thing and is like this theater trained guy, does ballet, studying mimery and shit. And he
runs marathons.
Method acts it. Yes. Runs marathons, literally runs marathons. Method acts it. And people are like, he had to be called either Robo or Murphy when he's on set. And you always think that's all bullshit and the actors deny it. Weller is like, fuck you. Yes, I method acted it. I prepared for 6 months. I'm in the suit at 130 degrees. I don't give a shit what you think. Call me Robo and Murphy, and I think it's cool. He owns it completely.
There's so much stuff about how some of the actors thought this was the most ridiculous thing ever. They're like, you're in a fucking robot suit, dude. Settle down. You're not Sir Laurence Olivier. You're not
you're
Sir
Richard
Peter
III
Weller.
over there with your gun and your helmet. He's like, I'm treating this like I'm Richard III. Get out of my face and call me Robo.
Well, the other piece of it with the suit, this killed me that he did like 3 months of martial arts training. So when he got in the suit, he would be able to, and then the suit, like you couldn't move, you couldn't do it. You basically like, ugh. And he was like, fuck, I did all this martial arts training for nothing. He was like pissed about it. It's like you signed up for a RoboCop movie. It's a RoboCop. What do you think? You're going to be like Bruce Lee?
Yes, he did.
Last What's Aged the Best. You mailed me a picture. It's a pretty famous picture that I've seen on Twitter a few times.
Yeah.
It's a Radio Shack Valley Fourplex. And hold on,
it's the marquee for the movie theater of what's playing that weekend.
Audience. Yeah, can you see it?
It's really cool. I mean, take your pick. Jesus. The internet caption on Instagram right there, the caption is, take me back.
Yeah.
Lost Boys, RoboCop, Predator, Full Metal Jacket. God damn. I'd take that in 2 years. They had it in 1 weekend.
We really knew what we were doing back then. The Big Kahuna Burger Award for best use of food and drink.
What do you got?
Well, the organic food paste that RoboCop eats.
Tastes like baby food.
It was made out of parsnip, tomato puree, and crushed Butterfingers bars.
All right.
Sounds delicious.
Like a frozen yogurt. I'm into that.
I'm going to eat that right now. What'd you have for the Great Shot Gordo Award for most cinematic shot?
I have when the two hooligans are with the woman in the alley and he shoots between the legs, when Robo gets out and the shadow is projected against the wall behind them and he looks huge and it keeps getting bigger. Really cool shot because as he walked towards them, the shadow would actually get smaller. So they had him walk backwards so he gets bigger. Like fucking brilliant shot. Love it.
Verhoeven.
Yeah. Cooking.
So I don't have a Kid Cudi Pursuit of Happiness award, best needle drop, but I do have a note. Unless you have do you have one?
I have 2 giant question marks under it. Just, I don't know.
So he goes to the nightclub when one of Bodeker's henchmen's in there, and the scene when he kicks RoboCop in the balls, which is a bad idea. The guy's a metal robot. I feel like they really missed a great song choice possibility for that scene. And this is where Verhoeven, being a Dutch filmmaker, I just don't think he was on it. Because he could have gone, you could have gone like Rockwell. I always feel like somebody's watching me. Could have gone that direction. We could have gone into the little late 80s alt. We could have done like a Peter Murphy Cut You Up. Or we could have done some, somewhere like
It's such a good point, though.
Somewhere in that indie 80s, could have done some XTC. I don't know what I wanted, but they didn't give it to me.
I would jump in too with like a hair metal Def Leppard. Do you take sugar?
Right. Yeah, they could have done Def Leppard.
They could have done
point.
Duran. They could have done. There's a lot of cool shit they could have played there. Again, they pretty shoestring thin budget, and they're trying to put it into his metal balls instead of the music. But a banger needle drop there would have really worked. Damn.
Chess Rockwell Brock Landers Award for best character name. It's obviously Dick Jones.
Dick Jones. Name your villains Dick. Young screenwriters. It works. Just name them Richard, and someone can call them Dick.
We only really have football coaches left named Dick.
And they're a dying breed as well. Dick Vermeil's a Hall of Famer.
Left. Yeah.
Dick LeBeau. I mean, let me ask you this. Are there like people alive now who are kids who will be Dick someday? Like let's say you're named Richard and it's a family name and you're Richie or Rick or something. Are Dicks as a name done?
I think Dickie can come back.
Dickie Greenleaf. Yeah, Dickie seems kind of cool.
No, I think you just audible right to Richie or Rick. Craig, do you know any Dicks?
No way. Dicks are dead.
Forever, though? Like, won't they come back like Rosemary and Dorothy, all those vintage names? Like, will you ever be at a travel baseball game and some parents yelling, like, come on, Dick, just throw strikes right to the glove?
I think Dick is dead. I think Guy is dead. No more guys. Never understood that one.
Names go away. I mean, we haven't seen an Adolf in about 60 years. Like sometimes it's just like, boom, we're done. We're never having another one. And I think Dicks have reached that point.
Yeah, but there's still kids named Harry, and Harry is like Dick's stupid brother. Right. I just wonder. We'll see. Dick Jones.
You have a flex category, Kyle. What is it?
Oh my God, I have so many choices. I was gonna do the does this movie have a porn parody, but it obviously does, and it will take you 2 seconds to think of what the name is.
What was it?
RoboCop?
There you go, Horlbeck. Yes.
RoboCop?
There it
Gotta
is.
be. What else? It's gotta be.
It's right there. And you know what? Honestly, Bill, like, given Verhoeven's like horniness, he probably directed it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I directed RoboCop, and he says, "Come quietly, or there'll be trouble." But the coming is the reaching the orgasm. It's a great movie. Like that's he would have directed the porno parody of his own fucking movie if they asked him to. All right, no, my real flex category is I'm actually going to go with the Fortune 3 Clap Award for most gifable moments. When Robo's brand new and he's in that chair in the factory and he starts having those dreams, he starts going like, and if you go to Twitter right now and type in the GIF search RoboCop, it is that moment of RoboCop, like with his mouth open. And it's all tweets of like, I'm not even going to say them, like when she stops, but you're still, and it's like the person's draft pick is terrible. And then it's the RoboCop.
Like Red Sox trade deadline. Here's my reaction to the Red Sox trade deadline.
Yes. Yes. And it's a really funny GIF to use when something terrible happens, because he definitely looks like someone is performing something on him. And it makes me laugh.
That's a great one. I thought you were going to go for Flex category. Did this movie need a sports scene? A random sports scene, because we had Detroit, and could we have had Clarence's gang? I think it's Clarence's whole extended gang, little pickup 3-and-3 hoops. I think would have been great.
Like in the warehouse,
in the warehouse, there's a hoop, and they're just
half court only. Right?
Yeah, half court only, or maybe a shooting contest, something like that. I think would have.
Well,
worked.
if they remade it now, Clarence's gang would have their own pickleball court, and they would just get after it in between killing cops and stuff.
I mean,
like
that would be the reason to kill them. They're not even committing crimes; they're just playing pickleball. RoboCop's like, we got to take these guys out. I mean, Luka Doncic saying he lost weight partly by playing pickleball is one of the worst things that's happened in 2025. Hope that doesn't start a trend. Just what we need, more pickleball. Let's take one more break, and then we'll do Butch's Girlfriend. All right, Butch's Girlfriend, weak link of the film. I have one. Do you have one?
I do. Mine's a little asymmetrical. I do have one. You want me to do mine?
Yeah.
This is kind of a hot take, too, for Rewatchables. The weak link of this film is that this movie is too short. I want more. I've never said that about a movie before. I am tired of this Horlbeckian philosophy that everything has to be 20 minutes long. It's too short. It's 102 minutes. I need 5 or 10 more minutes. Terminator 1's 107, Predator's 107, Lethal Weapon's 109. I want 2 more scenes. And if you look, there was supposed to be a chase scene at the end where the Clarence's guys use the big guns. I would have liked to see a chase scene with the guns. And there was supposed to be a scene where RoboCop goes to the cemetery and sees his own grave as Murphy. That sounds heavy metal as shit. I would like to see that. I've never said it before. The weak link of this movie is that it is too short. I want more.
I'm going to let Craig respond to that. Craig, if you want to come on the Zoom, even better.
Look, you're wrong. You're wrong, and I won't allow it. However, you make a compelling case. I thought the movie is so tight, I think they literally don't even develop Murphy enough. Like, how is there not a scene of Murphy with his family in real life at the beginning of this movie? He should be kissing his wife goodbye, playing with his kid. So then you have that emotional connection, and Verhoeven's like, fuck it, we don't need it. We'll do a couple flashbacks, 102 minutes.
Verhoeven's like, I need that extra 40 seconds for my cocaine cleavage scene.
Yes.
Wait, Craig, stay on, because this ties into my weak link in the film. I agree that this movie is like 2 scenes short, even though I love how fast it moves. How is there not a scene where Murphy's wife finds out that Murphy is now RoboCop and she shows up at the police station?
Yeah.
And then
there's a lot of unexplored family stuff.
Yeah. Instead of that wife being played by some actress, I don't know who it is. Now it's Gina Davis. And it's like, Gina, need you for one really good scene here where you go to the police station and you see Murphy and he doesn't recognize you, but you start crying like, you've turned him into a monster. Why'd you do this? Like, it's the easiest layup. And now Murphy's in crisis. He's like, am I a monster? He's looking at his robot arm. It's just sitting there.
And then that's the bridge to the porn parody where he's looking at his wife and she's like, if you're a RoboCop, that means you must have a Robo, and then we're off.
Come quietly or there will be trouble. I will respond to what you just said, Bill. I have a theory about why that happened, because after he dies, Lewis tells RoboCop she moved on really quickly. My take, Murphy, maybe not so great a guy at home. Maybe not so great a husband. Maybe a little verbally abusive. Maybe all kind. I think that she got out of there fast. I think she moved on fast. I think Murphy was fucking around. We don't know what that marriage is like. I think it was a disaster. Some marriages with police officers, I'm sorry to say it, are rough because of the lifestyle. For her to move on that quickly and not even come be like, where the fuck is Murphy? I heard he's this robot guy. No, she was out of there.
I think it's a great point.
Thank you.
Thanks, Craig. What's the worst? The sequels.
Yep.
The 2014 remake. Why? Again, I've said this 50 times on Rewatchables. Don't make movies when I can watch the original movie and it's still really good. It's unacceptable. It's on Amazon Prime right now. You can fucking watch it. I don't need to watch the remake. And then it gets confusing. They're both RoboCop. You can accidentally click on the Joel Kinnaman one when you meant to click on the Weller one. Like, I don't need it. I don't need it in my life. Call it RoboCop 2014, but don't do it anyway.
Is there anything, Bill, that gets you more mad that when you're getting ready for this pod and you just Google RoboCop cast and the one from the remake comes up and it's Joel Kinnaman, you're like, no one wants that. No one is ever looking for that cast, ever. Even that cast themselves is looking for the original cast.
It's bullshit. What's age the worst? Police strikes. So I looked this up. We haven't had one in America since the 1910s.
How'd that go?
Didn't go great, actually.
Yeah, I bet.
What's age the worst? RoboCop joining Sting in 1990 for WCW. You might have it as a what's age the best.
Anybody listening to this has to watch this fucking clip. Sting is in a cell, and I don't mean in the ring. There's a small jail cell next to the ring. RoboCop comes out, and of course it's not Peter Weller, and it's not the real costume. And RoboCop's supposed to bend the bars, and the announcers are like, "Oh my God, look at that strength!" But when he goes to bend the bar, the whole wall comes off, and he tries to put it back up. It's absolutely horrible. But if you love wrestling, Sting and Robo like raising their hands together is fucking great.
This was a really weird era, the 90s, for movie promo tie-ins to actual wrestling plots.
Yeah.
We mentioned for what's age the worst, RoboCop's costume. Weller was so frustrated that he fell out with Verhoeven, who fired him.
Mm-hmm.
Went to try to get Lance Henriksen as a replacement, and from Alien. And it was just too hard. The costume was designed for Weller. They would have had to make a new costume, so then they had to kind of make up, and Weller came back to the movie. Weller sounds like he might have been a little too method actor.
He was really method.
It's like he did definitely get some settled down from me.
And yet Weller would look at you, Bill Simmons, and say, "Scoreboard, look up at it, creep. I crushed this role. Lance Henriksen can suck it."
It's like the guy trying too hard in like PE class or something, you know? It's like, right, settle down,
Kickball.
Greg. It's soccer.
He's diving for kickballs. My last one, the lead it's a white guy named Clarence Boddicker. Can we talk about this? I used to have, when I had my column, I had the Reggie Cleveland Hall of Fame, because the Red Sox had this pitcher named Reggie Cleveland, and it was just this dumpy looking white guy. Clarence Boddicker? How did they come up with Clarence Boddicker? Does this guy seem like a Clarence Boddicker to you?
Well, let's go directly to the Tarantino script in True Romance, where Clarence Worley, in which Drexel reads his name and says it doesn't sound like it fits him either, and it's also Clarence.
Yeah.
So I just got wildly distracted, though, Bill, when you were talking about your old column, because my favorite group used to be the Lindsay Hunter All-Stars, who are athletes that sound like hot girls. I used to love that shit. Lindsay Hunter sounds like a girl I dated. She was a publicist in L.A.
The best one ever was when I had the Lindsay Hunter All-Stars. Then like 2 years after I started it, the Charlotte Hornets drafted Alexis Ajinka. And it was like, this is definitely a supermodel 1990. Like, she took the cover from Elle Macpherson.
Incredible.
Like, did you see Alexis Ajinka on the new SI? And it was a power forward for the Hornets. So that was
amazing. Wow, is he dating Alexis Ajinka? No, he's still with Stacey Augman. I'm like, I love that shit.
All right, that's it for What's Age the Worst. The Overacting Award. Miguel Ferrer kind of dials it up a few times as Bob Morton. Did you have another candidate, though?
You know who overacts? Ed 209. Get the fuck out of my face falling down the stairs. He falls on his back. He's crying. His legs are flailing.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Ed 209. I don't like that part of it. I think he gets it.
Ed 209 had some flaws. Shooting people in the boardroom. Can't walk downstairs. Like they really rushed that one.
Can I give you an Ed 209 take?
Yeah.
I think Ed 209 is a Freudian metaphor. I think it's a penis thing for Dick Jones. I completely, I think Dick Jones has nothing down there, can't work down there. And this thing is this big giant metal with balls that shoots. And like his name is Dick, ED 209. I think Dick Jones was dealing with some of that. When we see Dick Jones in the bathroom, he's on the toilet sitting. I think he's peeing and hiding. He has no wedding ring on. He doesn't like how, what's his name, Bob Morton, like womanizes. I think it is a big Freudian, like, look at this giant metal unit. And that's how it was in the 80s. I feel like it's a metaphor for that, and it doesn't work.
He's just sitting in the bathroom stall looking at his sad pud that used to work.
Yeah. With no phone, by the way, just sitting there.
Thinking about how to create Ed 219, who's be more of a thing. I like that take. The CR thinks Luke Wilson could have been Harrison Ford. Yeah. Hottest take a word. I have one of my favorite ones I've ever had, but you go first.
Hell yes. You want to go first?
No, you go
I'll
first.
Go first. My hottest take is that this movie chokes. It chokes. And at the 1 yard line at Deshaun Jackson's, meaning we have an entire long movie of state-of-the-art craftsmanship and incredible 1980s technical special effects. And in the last 30 seconds of the movie, we get that asinine Dick Jones monster puppet fall shot out of the window. And it makes it's so bad. And it's so disappointing. It makes Mac and me look like Avatar. They take the creature from the Tool Sober video and throw it out. And they didn't even need to have that in there. They've done all these brilliant special effects shots, and I feel like it blows a 3-1 series lead right at the end, and they choke at the goal line. And you walk into the lobby, you're like, what was that last shot of that dumb puppet falling out? Terrible. I hate that they did that. That might have
been the half star for Ebert. He might have been 3.5 stars with a minute left.
And you mentioned this, the tough beat, and people point this out. The year later, you have Hans Gruber in the same exact shot, and it looks awesome. Yeah. I think RoboCop blew the 28-3 lead, did not get nominated for an Oscar for special effects, Predator and Inner Space only, no nomination, one for sound. And I think the voters were like, I can't nominate that shit with that thing falling out the window. It looks so bad. And it's a shame that it ends that way.
It's a great point.
What's yours? I'm curious. You said one of the best ones you've ever had. Let's go.
Yeah, this is really good. It's meaningful. Ties into all your appearances on the pod. Okay. I think out of all the movie roles and any rewatchables we've ever done, I think this is the one you could have, when we say the what if, Kyle Brandt's acting career,
sure,
soaps, you're in Real World, then you're in the soaps, and it's like someday I'm going to be an actor, maybe I could even be an action star.
Yeah.
I think you would have been a great RoboCop. You have the chin. You could have figured out the costume. You're athletic. I just think this could have been it. Like out of any movie we've done, you as RoboCop, it really excited me.
I'm flattered. Thank you. And if it would be like this and come quietly or there will be trouble. Bill knows I was on Days of Our Lives for 3.5 years and they offered me a contract extension. And I said, no. I'm going off to be Matt Damon and I got this thing. And then like a year later, I was broke and depressed and sleeping in my robe. The last thing I ever auditioned for, Bill, my last Hollywood acting audition was a remake of Knight Rider. They did a remake 15, 20 years ago. And I got really far in the process of getting cast in the Hasselhoff role and then didn't get it. And that was like my moment where I was like, this is it. I got to get out of here. So I wish there would have been a RoboCop, man. I don't know if we'd be having the same conversation.
I think you could have done it.
Thanks, buddy.
Casting what ifs.
Yep.
Jonathan Kaplan was supposed to direct, but decided to do Project X instead. I don't remember that one.
Project X was with Matthew Broderick and monkeys.
Oh, the monkey. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Odd movie.
Verhoeven dismissed the script twice. Didn't understand the comedy in it. And then his wife was like, no, this is good. You should do this movie. And then he ended up doing it. Speaking of Kyle Brandt, they spent 6 to 8 months searching for an actor to play Alex Murphy. You were too young.
Okay. Yeah.
Schwarzenegger.
No
Ironside.
Way.
They kicked the tires on Rutger Hauer. Verhoeven's like, let's just get Rutger. They were like, no, we're not getting Rutger Hauer. Tom Berenger. Armin Asante, Keith Carradine. My favorite choice, James Remar.
Hell yes. Yes.
Gans from 48 Hours.
I'm into Remar. I'm into all those guys. I watched, there's this documentary on Amazon called RoboDoc, this unbelievably thorough, exhaustive, detailed, really well done about the making of this. And when they're talking about the casting of RoboCop, they flash through some headshots and some of the names you mentioned. Did you come across this? Because in the doc, there's a headshot, and the headshot potentially to play Murphy is our guy, Steven Seagal. And I'm like, is that possibly true? Is that fucking real?
So I did not see that, but this is crazy because my recasting couch director or city category was Seagal as RoboCop.
Let's go.
I just think it's just a better movie. It's just Seagal being trapped in the robo thing, but trying to add Seagal things where he said, no, I don't think RoboCop should get shot. All the shots miss. He's just cleaning out. He's never in danger. Nobody ever shoots at him. I just think it's a funnier movie.
Let's spitball this. I think it'd be cool if RoboCop had like a metal ponytail and a metal beret, and he has his badge around his chain, and you know how he walks like.
You're right.
He's like, anybody seen Clarence Boddicker?
Right.
Anybody know why Clarence Boddicker did Murphy? Oh, it's fucking. I'm going to take you to the bank, Dick Jones, to the blood bank. We need this.
Also, in the beginning in the warehouse, he could have had like karate fights with guys before they finally got him and shot. He could have done Seagal shit.
Yeah.
But he never would have taken it because the guy loses in the movie, and Seagal never loses.
Nobody
ever landed a punch on Seagal.
You're
the
right.
1 2x4 in that one movie, that Out for Justice, that was it. Somebody got him with a 2x4, recovered right away. Stephanie Zimbalist was cast as Ann Lewis, but had a Remington Steel pickup.
Tough.
Couldn't do it. I had a huge crush on her in the 80s. And ended up getting Nancy Allen instead. Weller was the only person out of all the actors who wanted to be in, and Verhoeven liked his chin. So
Good
that
chin.
was it. That's really what it came
Great
down to.
actor.
Michael Ironside offered the role of Boddicker, did not want to be a psychopath again. Turned it down. I wonder, and then Kurtwood Smith auditioned for Dick Jones, thought he got Dick Jones, but they gave him Clarence Boddicker. No. I wonder how many times Kurtwood Smith and Michael Ironside were up for the same role as people just wondered what the fuck was going on.
It's so true. I think Kurtwood Smith probably auditioned for Jester in Top Gun in '86.
No question. Definitely
and then it's weird because Ironside then shows up in Total Recall and he's the bad guy again. So he does get the role. But those two guys definitely flock together.
I think that was his settle down moment when he turned down RoboCop, and then 2 years later it's like, fuck. All right, Total Recall, I'll do it. Best That Guy award. So we already mentioned Paul McCrane, who is Toxic Waste Emil.
Yep.
But I think the winner is Ray Wise, who is one of the other bad guys, the guy who kicks RoboCop in the balls.
Right.
I, for 40 years, thought that this was Sosa from Scarface. I told you a long time ago not to fuck with me, Tony. I told you what would happen. But it's not. It's
Did
a
you
different
learn that
actor.
this week?
I learned that this week.
Oh,
I thought
great.
for 40 years, I thought it was Sosa. And I was like, what amazing range on this guy. He played Sosa. But no, it's Ray Wise, character actor.
I just have to shout out my guy. We've done this before in this category. The most legendary background ever. Our guy, Alan Graff. I have the picture of him because no one knows who Alan Graff is. This guy. This guy's in everything.
Oh, that guy.
We had him in Over the Top. He's the guy in the donut shop with the gun and Boogie Nights. He's in the background. He's always the guy in the background. He's in Magnolia. He's in Jerry Maguire. Alan Graff, wherever you are, if you're still with us, that's
Great
my guy.
Who'd you have for the Dion Waiters Award?
To me, and I'm just like, I got to go back to my guy, Ed 209. 3 scenes, takes it away. I mean, it's either him or it's Buy That for $1 guy, but I think it's Ed 209.
I had Buy That for $1 guy, but you could go either.
Can I ask a question about Ed 209? At the end of the movie, when RoboCop blows him up, RoboCop comes in, Ed 209 walks up and goes, "You are parked illegally. You have 15 seconds." So does he blow people away for parking in the wrong spot? Was he about to open fire because of a parking violation? What's going on?
I think I had some serious malfunction glitches.
Yeah, he just shoots at anything.
You know why I think that? Because he murdered the guy in the boardroom for no reason at all. Yeah, I don't think he was.
That's life in the big city. Okay, you know what? I love that line.
Did you have a recasting couch or no?
Director City. I would love to see a Wes Anderson version of RoboCop where he's in like a corduroy suit and he goes into the Grand Budapest Hotel and beats people up with ironic banjos and typewriters. That would be a totally different take on it. Wes Anderson RoboCop I'd like to see.
Fantasy would be the only one who liked it.
I'd listen to the big picture.
Wes Anderson has made the movie of the year. Craig's choice for a flex category. Craig, you got to come on the Zoom for this.
I'm going to do a hottest take, but I want to give one quick other thought first. Verhoeven wanted this to be an asexual movie. Well, he failed because I want to use a little bit of my time to shout out Dr. Tyler, played by a woman named Sage Parker.
With the glasses?
Big glasses, kind of crushing it in this movie. Looked her up, didn't really have a career. Thought she looked like Parker Posey's sister. I was very into her. Thought there'd be more of her in the second half of the movie. Was a little disappointed that she disappeared.
And she kisses his visor with the lipstick smack on there.
Yes.
It's kind of hot.
I was into her.
Me too.
Anyway, my hot take is that RoboCop, not that hard to thwart, not that impressive of an invention. Like, I think RoboCop's Madden score is like 82.
Okay.
Like, people are shooting rocket launchers in this movie, and he has one handgun. He's incredibly slow. Can he run? Can he even run?
We never see him run.
He can barely turn around. Just like hit him with your car.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's that impressive.
Well, they show him driving, but we never see how he would have actually gotten into the car to drive because he seems so unflexible. I don't even know how he got in the car.
I think, Craig, the deal was that they couldn't get him in and out of the car because he was too big. So there's never a shot of him getting in or out of a car. You bring up a great point. Like, you need to get away from RoboCop. Just run. Like, he can't do anything.
Just
hit him
run
with your
around
car.
the corner.
He can't move.
Climb the stairs. Just turn him around a little bit.
You're done. Yeah.
It would be like if the Cowboys, like everybody's like, Micah Parsons, he's unstoppable, but he ran like an 11.040. He couldn't turn.
This guy,
can't block this guy. It's like, no, he actually can't. He can't move.
Use one of those big SUVs to run him over. He's done.
That's a great take, Craig. Congrats. So you kind of did this already, but I had a bonus category in here. The Steven Seagal shitting on himself award for most unbelievable anecdote from the actual film shoot.
Great.
Just Weller only responding to Verhoeven when he was addressed as Robo, when he was in the RoboCop. I had to try to find it in multiple places because I didn't believe it. He's like,
Robo
hey, Peter.
And Murphy.
But Robo's funnier, though. Murphy, I get. Robo, I don't get.
Robo. Yeah, no. Not even
He's
RoboCop.
like, Peter, so you got to turn around in the costume. He's like, Paul, I thought we covered this. Can you call me Robo?
I need you on set, Peter.
Can you call me Robo? Call me Robo when I'm on the set. Like, I'm really into this character. Half-Assed Earned Research. The RoboCop suit cost somewhere between $500K and $1 million. The story was conceived. I mentioned Neumeier before. He was Universal Pictures junior story executive. Yeah. Edward Neumeier developed it with a guy named Michael Miner who wrote it, and that was it. Verhoeven wanted to film in Dallas because it suggested the near future.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I agree.
Talking about the
mid-80s Dallas
cities.
What would be the RoboCop city now for suggesting the near future?
Dubai.
We'd have to go out of America. Yeah, good point. Richard Nixon was hired to promote the home video release for $25K and donated the money. So you watched that RoboDoc doc?
Yeah.
I didn't watch
4 parts. Exhaustive.
Yeah, the 4 parts where it was like, I'm tapping out. Sorry.
Incredibly well done, though.
It's revealed in that doc that all the cops in this movie are named after notorious mass murderers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like Ramirez.
Yeah.
Serial killers, stuff like that. See, RoboCop's got so many Easter eggs. It's fun.
Verhoeven started taking prescription meds to cope with insomnia and was just apparently a maniac on the set, but got better as the years passed with movies. Although Sharon Stone might say differently.
Mm-hmm.
So when Bodeker's gang is blowing up storefronts, one explosion was bigger than they thought, and you see the actors scattering, and somebody's coat got on fire. Ray Wise said he got some glass on his face. He was excited. They paid him extra.
Awesome.
The movie was refused an R rating 11 times, although Verhoeven said it was 8. And they just kept like, you got to tone down the violence. But they were like, the whole point of this is we're making fun of this stuff. Like, we need the violence. And then the film's cars, the police cars were 86 Ford Tauruses.
Yep.
Probably the peak for Ford Taurus. I guess we'll cover an Apex Mountain.
Apex Mountain for Ford Taurus for sure.
And then RoboCop, huge VHS rental in 1988. One of the biggest
That's
ones.
how I saw it.
Massive. Longest waiting list of the year. And then a little bonus, Lisa Gibbons deep dive for you.
Well, give it to me.
She has 3 grown children and a rescue dog named Biggie.
Okay. She's into rap.
She did Tony Robbins infomercials in the 80s, which I forgot. She hosted her own daytime show in the 90s for 7 years. Forgot that.
7 years? That's a good run.
What do you have for Lisa Gibbons over under marriages? I'll give you over under 3.5.
You're telling me how many times Lisa Gibbons has been married?
Lisa Gibbons' marriage is over under 3.5.
I would go under with 3.
All right, it was 4. So the over hits, yeah. Should have FanDuel cover that one. But she's settled down. She's living her life. 68
it's like
years
when
old.
Macaulay is learning about Vincent Hanna and he hears he's been divorced 3 times because he's out there chasing guys like you. Lisa Gibbons out there maybe chasing those celebrity news leads.
Stories, right.
I get it.
Apex Mountain, Lisa Gibbons, not yet.
No.
I think getting your own daytime talk show is probably Apex
For
Mountain.
7 years? Yeah.
Detroit. I don't know, it's 87, pretty good in Detroit.
Early 90s, Bad Boy Pistons, Barry Sanders Lions.
Yeah, early 90s.
It's got to be.
Good call. Peter Weller. I'm going to say yes.
Absolutely. I love Weller, but this is all I got.
Verhoeven, no. But I think it's Basic Instinct for him. So it's 5 years later.
Basic Instinct was bigger than Total Recall, which was big. I think it is too.
After Basic Instinct, there's like, this guy's a guy. Movie heroes dying with the Christ arms throwing up fallback. I think it's Platoon. But we're right in the I think if you combine it, this is kind of peak for that. And then we're right toward the peak of the puppet falling backwards as our character, but it's actually Alan Richmond that figured it out. Nancy Allen, no. Famous Bodikers. So you have Mike Boddicker.
Sure.
Really good 80s AL pitcher. The Red Sox trade for him in 88 to make a little pennant push. I'm sorry, 80. They traded for him in 88. So the only 2 Boddickers I could think of.
I didn't even know the pitcher. So yeah.
Ronnie Cox. I'm gonna say he's got this and Bev too in the same year.
This is Ronnie Cox, Apex Mountain. Great actor too. I love that guy.
2 years earlier, he's in Vision Quest with Linda Fiorentino staying at his house. Yeah.
Modine, the horniest character in history. Unbelievably horny.
Miguel Ferrer, probably.
Yeah. Bob Morton, great.
Kurtwood Smith. Probably that 70s show. That was a pretty big show for like 7 years.
Massive show. And then it's got Kutcher and Mila, and one of its characters is in prison now. Like, just all kinds of stuff to talk about with that show. And yeah, I think I've never seen one episode, but apparently he's really good in it. He's the dad. Important
show on the Reddit conspiracy board. Futuristic cop movies.
No. I mean, you got Blade Runner. I mean, Blade Runner, Minority Report. Blade Runner did a lot to inspire this movie, too. I think it's Blade Runner still.
I agree. Cruiser Hanks.
This is so funny. Robo-Tom. Which one do you go with?
I did Cruise. Cruise is way funnier. I think that Cruise in the first 15 minutes, Cruise getting shot, Cruise having to take his helmet off and having like the bald Cruise cap on.
You don't see Cruise play cops a lot. Like, I feel like the only time maybe he has is Minority Report. He's never really been in like a blue uniform. Hanks did it in Dragnet, and he did it in the one with the dog, Turner and Hooch. I think it's probably Cruise.
The one with the dog?
Yeah. I mix it up with K9, which was John Belushi. Turner and Hooch,
mix it up with K9? What's happening?
That was like
Turner
the
and
Deep
Hooch is a
Impact and Armageddon.
classic. It's one
Are
of
you
the
going to
best
do the
movies.
Turner and Hooch rewatch?
Listen, if there's ever a dog month, Turner and Hooch will be in dog month.
Dog month. It's good.
Dog month. High ratings. People love dogs.
I would go with Cruise, though. I would go with Cruise.
Me too. Scorsese or Spielberg? Interesting. This could go either way, but this feels like very Spielberg trying to embrace his dark side, but not really getting there.
The problem is the hard R, the hard R rating. Scorsese has to do it. I mean, the Coke scene alone is him. Spielberg did this movie. It was called AI, and Haley Joel Osment was RoboCop.
Yeah, you're right. It's Scorsese. It's a good call.
Scorsese.
So he's like, how many cocaine scenes are in there? Like, we got 2. It's like, I'm in. Sign me up.
Yeah.
What role had Philip Seymour Hoffman played? Clearly Boddicker.
Mm.
What would you have done? RoboCop?
No. I saw this as like young, up and coming, like Twister, Boogie Nights, Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Oh, Miguel Ferrer?
Not even him. Like one of the like people in the lab, like who works on RoboCop, and he kind of has like Scotty J energy, you know, and he's like a lab coat and he's walking next to RoboCop. He's like, I like your suit a lot. It looks really sexy. Thank you. I really like your name. Thank you. Like, I think he's just one of these guys who steals the scene despite having like 2 lines. I love him there.
He could have been Kinney.
Oh, you love Kinney, dude. Kinney is a hilarious. Oh, sure, I'll volunteer, boss.
He could have done it like with his Son of a Woman, kind of Phil Hoffman.
Wait, Bill. Let me give you. There's one Apex Mountain I think is interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think is this Apex Mountain for violent scenes that are hard to watch? I'm talking about Murphy's execution, and I have a list. Okay.
Oh, I can't wait.
All right, so you got at the end of Casino, Tommy in the cornfield gets beaten up by Frank Vincent. It's tough to watch. The Private Ryan slow motion stabbing in the end when they're in the room, and he's like, no, don't. Gandolfini in Alabama in True Romance is brutal.
Ooh, that would have been my pick.
You have the hobbling in Misery where she breaks his ankles, which I actually think is kind of funny. And then there's like really horrible stuff like the American History X Curb Stomp, which is terrible for a million reasons. Irreversible has an 11-minute scene that's unwatchable. But the True Romance one, especially the director's cut, is really tough. It's not a fun topic, but it thought of this because I still had trouble watching the scene. And I was like, is this the hardest scene to watch? And put it this way. When I show my little kid content now, like I don't care about profanity and usually I don't care about violence. It's the sex I try to keep him away from. He's only 11. I would not want him to watch this movie yet. I don't want him to watch that scene of Murphy being killed. It's just too much. Like I saw it too young and I don't want him to. It's intense.
I would have thrown Reservoir Dogs with the cutting the ear off.
Michael Madsen, our guy. By the way, Species Pod, fantastic. Just fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
Fantastic.
One of the all-timers. Yeah, that Gandolfini scene is I think that's the whole point though.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some other ones. Man on Fire.
Yeah.
When he's torturing the guy in the car, but you're kind of rooting for him to do it.
I know.
Picking nits.
Yeah.
Whose idea was it to give Ed 209 actual bullets for the boardroom demonstration?
Maybe we just go with blanks for the demo.
How about just blanks for the demo? Just change out the bullets. You're arming him with real bullets? What if something goes wrong?
They're ripping out wires from the control board. Maybe just not load Ed 209.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's not like Ed 209 went to the store and bought bullets. Like they were arming him with the bullets.
With a lot of them too. Yeah.
Hot take. Did Murphy deserve to die? They go into a warehouse loaded with gunmen that they just chased. There's no backup coming for 20 minutes.
Nope.
There's no harder place to navigate than a warehouse with nooks and crannies and levels. And they're like, we'll go in first. The rest of the guys will come in later. How about this? Just hang outside for 20 minutes.
Let's just chill. It's like in The Town when the guy looks up and sees all the guys with the guns. The officer just looks back down.
He's like, does the look down.
Not today.
Just wait.
Not today.
Backup's not coming for 20 minutes. Cool. We'll wait for the backup.
Yeah. Let's go to Carl
6 of them and 2 for us. How do you feel about Nancy Allen's character not figuring out that RoboCop's Murphy for like 30 minutes?
I feel all right. The second she sees the gun twirl. Yeah. And she worked with him for like 20 minutes before he was murdered.
All right,
so
that's
it's not
probably
like they're
a better
old
case.
friends.
All right. Murphy had no family or friends other than this one wife and kid. Nobody who knew he was nothing.
No.
Was anyone at his bachelor party?
That's a good point. I mean, he probably got married.
College roommate who checked in every once in a while?
No, his side piece, which I think he had, and she didn't show up. I have a picky nit about the family. Like that, when he goes in that flashback, that is such a bullshit demonstration of what a family is like. No family is that nice. The kid is like, "Hi, Dad, take a picture with me." No kid says that.
Well, that's the
he walks
Dutch
into
thing.
the room.
Verhoeven doesn't understand American families.
At all. Because you know what American families don't do? It's the middle of the day. The wife is in a robe. It's like a Tuesday. And she's like, "I have to tell you something. I love you." What is that? No wife behaves that way ever. If anything, that wife would be like really annoyed that why is he doing this new job in the tough district? We need more money. We got to get out of this house. Like that idyllic version of a family, Verhoeven fucking missed. No family is like that.
Yeah, the way she says, "I have to tell you something, I love you," you just have to assume there's a guy hiding in the closet that had just been having sex with her, and she's trying to throw him off the set. "I love you." It's like, go get.
Yeah, definitely.
I have a problem with the RoboCop costume. So why do you have the mouth and the jaw exposed? It feels like all the shots, like you just aim for his mouth, right? You try to hit it, and then when they're shooting at him, he's covering his jaw. Like, why is he covering anything? He's a fucking robot.
Why wouldn't he have just a full metal over his face too?
Yeah,
and what if
or
he
like
gets
a little
hit directly
shield
in
that
the
comes
jaw?
down. Well, like if he's in battle, like pull the shield down.
There was a
Why they
lot of
didn't think
people
that.
who didn't want to play the role because they didn't want half their face covered the whole time, and so
that's it.
Just that,
But
yeah, that
maybe it's like it goes up and down though. It's like a mouthpiece in boxing. Like when you know you're in battle, you pull it down.
Like a welder's mask. Yeah.
Ed 209 not being able to go downstairs. I know it's funny, but I also like that's just insane. They didn't think of that. He's chasing criminals. There's criminals go up and down stairs. You didn't figure this out?
Is Ed 209 Apex Mountain for worst new technology rollout ever? It's like him, Google Glass, Quibi, ESPN Mobile, and Ed 209. Like what? That's the worst thing I've ever seen.
Really
Jesus.
bad. Here's my last one. Was Clarence Boddicker, was he a wanted criminal or not?
Yeah, known mob
he's wanted for 31
cop killers.
31 deaths on his watch. The mob boss of old Detroit. But then in the last half hour of this movie, he's just strolling into Dick Jones's office, going through, saying hi to people. So is he a criminal or not?
Yeah, Lisa Gibbons even has him on the news as like known mob boss. Sometimes they do this in movies, like in 1989 Batman, like Carl Grissom and Jack Napier, they're just known mob bosses. They just walk around and they do stuff in public and no one arrests them or anything. So yes, it is a little odd.
Get it. Do you have any pick and nets?
No, just the one about the family would never be that way. It's ridiculous.
Sequel, prequel, prestige TV, all black cast, or untouchable. A prequel with Murphy in the other part of Detroit. I'd probably watch 5 minutes. All black cast, maybe. If you're gonna that would have been the 2014 answer. If you're remaking RoboCop, like let's go all black cast and just go. But they made all these sequels, so I think that's the answer.
The real answer to this category is none of it. It's video game, and they made a shitload of video games, and they're pretty cool. The arcade game was awesome. You could fight Ed 209. That's the answer.
I'm embarrassed to say that I'm so old that I had the computer game in the 80s.
You had a computer game?
Yeah.
Like on an Apple computer, or what, did you have a Commodore?
Apple.
Awesome.
1988. That's the Apple that me and Gus Ramsey used to play micro league baseball on all the time. But I had
floppy disk.
I had only a few games, but I think I had the RoboCop one. I vaguely remember it. Is this movie better with Wayne Jenkins, Danny Trejo, Doris Burke, Sam Jackson, Nell, Byron Mayo, Tony Romo, Chris Collinsworth, Daniel Plainview, Longlegs, Peter Schrager, or Wilford Brimley in The Firm?
I'm tempted to say Pete Schrags, but I need the scene where he shoots through the woman's legs. I would love to have my guy Gus Johnson on the call, and it's just RoboCop, young fella, couple of scumbags about to give this woman a Brazilian, goes to the thigh holster, raises his gun, and beans all over the pavement. Your move, creep. Oh, man. There we go. Love you, Gus.
Great
Love
job.
You. Love you.
Well, see, you stepped on mine now. First of all, I thought you were doing this for another scene, but I had Mike Breen for Ed 209 killing Kinney.
Do it.
15 seconds, 5 seconds, bang! 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 He's just doing 40 bangs. His kitty's just taking
Unbelievable.
all the shots. Yeah.
See, the Schrager take would be, he'd be like, Ed 209 is Mahomes, and him taking that loss early on is going to put a chip on Mahomes' shoulder, and Mahomes is out for revenge this year, and I'm taking the Chiefs. That's Peter. He kills that take. That's what he would roll with, and it'd be good.
Oh, I thought it would have been. Guys, I talked to Dick Jones last week, and he did not like what happened with Ed 209 in the boardroom. They're fixing it. They think that robot's going to be great, and it's going to be ready to go for the season.
Yeah, look, everybody's moving on to Bob Morton. I got news for you. Dick Jones, they still believe in him. They still like him. Let's go. Love you, Peter. I love you. And he would give his amazing take, and no one would laugh or respond. I love you, bud.
Yeah, just freeze faces and the split screens at ESPN for it. Just one Oscar. Who gets it? Special effects?
No. Well, the sound effects actually won. Special effects not
sound
nominated
effects
because
won,
of
then
the
sure. Okay.
Tool Sober character. Yep.
Probably unanswerable questions. So we have no idea what year this movie is in.
Yeah.
Apparently there was a commercial for the film's home video release that said the movie was set in 1991, but nobody's ever established that. What year do you think this movie was set in? If you had to pick a year, it probably has to go at least 30 years ahead.
Well, it's tough because they have all this technology, but there's no cell phones. So nobody makes a cell phone call the whole time.
But do they know? And I guess in 87, they probably should have known cell phones were going to be a bigger part of things.
Because we had the Gordon Gekko phone already. Like, they should have known. But
they figured out DVDs. They didn't figure out cell phones?
Yeah. It's like they made this in 86. They probably thought this was like 2010, maybe 2005, 20-some years forward.
I was going to say like 2011 range, like 25 years later.
Yeah.
I mean, this is stealth RoboCop question, but do you think Bob Morton was behind transferring cops into the worst parts of Detroit that could eventually be good RoboCop?
Yeah.
Like, he's almost like scouting combine it. And it's like, there's this guy Murphy in the other part. Like, he's really good. It's like, transfer that guy over. We got to get him.
I think it's almost inferred in the movie that Murphy's sudden transfer to the rough thing is because Murphy fit the profile. They set him up to be killed, and then they could use him because they knew he could be a RoboCop.
Was it basically they scouted
100%.
him? This is our guy.
Yes.
Clarence Boddicker's going to lure him in. The backup's going to be 20 minutes away. Kind of weird. It's not like Detroit's
all of that.
Houston.
I think it was completely masterminded. Yes, completely.
All right, so maybe that's answerable. What piece of memorabilia would you want or not want from this movie?
Something that we have not talked about yet in this podcast. I'm going to have some friends over, some couples. We're going to have some wine, some IPAs, some charcuterie, and we're going to play around to Nukem. And we're going to get the game out, and we're going to say, Pakistan's threatening my border. I want real Nukem. None of this Cards Against Humanity shit. I want Nukem the home game. The best.
We forgot to mention, that's a good answer. We forgot to mention with those news breaks, when they slide in stuff like 2 presidents have been killed in Santa Barbara, and it's clearly inferring it was Nixon and Reagan. But then they have this other one. I don't know why it's so funny, but rebels have taken over Acapulco.
Yep.
In the mid 80s, Acapulco was like St. Bart's. That's where everybody went. And they just kind of slid that in. But now I guess that could have been for most 1987 thing about this movie.
So true.
Because now if that happened, you'd be like, oh, I totally believe rebels took over Acapulco. Yes. 87, it was like kind of a way to make fun of rich people. My piece of memorabilia that I'd want from the movie, I'd probably want the mask.
Yeah.
Just just have it behind me in the studio here. I don't know. That'd be cool. Coach Finstock Award, best life lesson. You can kill somebody, but you can't take their humanity.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Dude, they'll come back. They'll resurrect.
Or put blanks in Ed 209 the next time. Would have been
if there's any weapons companies out there developing new stuff and you're going to do a demo, not really necessary.
20-person boardroom demo.
Where, what was it where Elon was debuting the Cybertruck and he's like, you can't break the window, and he threw the thing against it and it broke? That went terribly, but still Ed 209 significantly worse.
Yeah. Best double feature choice. I mean, you could go Terminator and go right into RoboCop right after and double robot it. You could go Verhoeven and do this with Starship Troopers or Total Recall. I don't know. What do you have?
The Terminator thing is interesting. There's a couple things I just want to say about this, because when the movie came out, Allegedly, James Cameron was pissed, and he thought that they ripped them off. And and if you look at the timeline, RoboCop was being developed well before Terminator. But there's a really interesting thing in Terminator 2 where there's a couple things in T2 Judgment Day that are like, they look like ripoffs of RoboCop, like verbatim.
Oh.
They both end in a steel mill. There's a point where the T-1000 stabs Arnold with a spike and then wrenches it back and forth, just like Boddicker does, like note for note. And then the whole backlit SWAT team where they drop the Terminator and RoboCop is like note for note. It's almost like Cameron was doing it on purpose because he thought they ripped it. It looks just like it. Like, you know how Larry does the Spite store for Mocha Joe and Curb? It was like Spite scenes. It's
That's
almost
such a good
note for
point.
note ripoffs of RoboCop. It's crazy.
And we know Cameron's a dick.
Yeah, I think he's totally neurotic. He's like, I know you guys ripped my shit off, so I'm ripping yours. Look at those shots. It's the same sequences.
Yeah, that's such a good point. Especially the steak is like almost note
same
for
thing.
note. Really good one.
Same deal.
Who won the movie?
A lot of people could have been RoboCop. We need the horny, blood-soaked Dutchman, Paul Verhoeven. I think he absolutely cooked in every single sense of this. I think it's him.
I had him as well. All right,
Fucking
let's
A.
see what Craig thought. Craig, had you seen RoboCop?
No. And I haven't seen the new one, the Joel Kinnaman one. I kind of barely knew that
Skip it.
existed, to be honest. I enjoyed this movie so much. The B movie that's trying to say something, Trojan horsing you into a message. This movie's interesting because I think if you're on your phone, if you're half watching the movie, it's kind of just a cheesy 80s science fiction movie with questionable CGI.
Yeah.
Which is a problem now because most people turning it on, they're probably half looking at their phone and you miss so much. But if you actually sit down, put your phone down and watch the movie, there is so much happening in the interstitials. There's so much being subliminally kind of delivered to you.
Yeah.
That is just so interesting. It reminded me a lot of They Live, the John Carpenter movie.
Yeah.
Just about its views on like the dystopian future and all the stuff like that. I also think the villains in this movie are great.
Yeah.
To me personally, I feel like Nancy Allen and Peter Weller, I could take them or leave them. If you recasted both of them, I think I'd be fine. But I think the villains in this movie are awesome and they seem like genuinely terrible people and you really want them to die.
You know what's interesting about that? I almost feel like he didn't want the two leads to have any sort of personality. Like he wanted the villains to suck up the personality of the movie would be my guess.
Well, that's like the Batman formula that the villains are so much more interesting than Batman. The scene that we didn't talk about is in the bathroom between Bob Morton and Dick Jones, where he reaches back and touches his hair and pulls it. Like that is what you call a dick swinging contest, and it's a really good scene.
Yeah. Well, I think like 10 years later, this is Brad Pitt as RoboCop. Right?
Yeah.
Good chin, like he would have fit it. They probably beef it up. I don't think they have Peter Weller.
It's Channing Tatum, it's one of those guys.
Would you have liked this movie more if it was Emilio Estevez as RoboCop?
I didn't even think about that. There's a scene where RoboCop gets really high and then he screams and the glass breaks. It's fucking awesome.
Rob Lowe, like they could have gone like that direction, right? A little more famous, but I didn't know who Peter Weller was, but I also wasn't going to the movies to see Peter Weller.
Yeah, if it was Rob Lowe, when RoboCop takes out, they would need hair still. I didn't love the RoboCop. I didn't love
Bald
the Peter
cap?
Weller bald cap, like Darth Vader situation going on. That was a little uncomfortable. I also don't know why he did it. I guess it's him coming to terms with his humanity. I do think technologically speaking, this movie's eyes were bigger than its stomach a little bit. Like they really tried, and maybe they were a couple years too early on. It struggles in some ways, I think, in the effects, but they're doing their best.
Hey, Craig, when we do our live fantasy football draft on August 25th, I'm bringing a robot in. I'm going to demonstrate. It's a robot fantasy thing. We're going to do a little demonstration.
Okay, great.
I want you to be the one that challenges him with a trade.
Heifetz would volunteer, so I'll get him.
Right. Heifetz would be like, I'll do it.
Ed 209 is like Anthony Richardson. They're like trying to make him work. He's firing missiles at running backs in the flat.
Ed 209, I'll trade you George Kittle for DeAndre Hopkins and Isaiah Pacheco. You have 15 seconds to accept this trade.
That is Anthony Richardson as Ed 209 is the fucking funniest. Everything looks good on paper until he's faced with any sort of anything. And then
we're really trying to make this work.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. RoboCop, another winner for Craig. We took him back to 1987.
Way to go, baby.
These movies don't miss now. Like any of these, I'm just in on all of these.
We've completely corrupted him.
I know. 102 minutes. Come on.
There's still some left. All right, Kyle Brandt, anything to plug, push? What do you got?
No, it's just as usual. We're doing my 10th season of Good Morning Football.
Wow.
Me live from New York, and I'll be getting after it as always.
What was the stuff with you in a suit with Peyton Manning? Is that like a secret project? What was that?
Eli Manning.
Eli Manning. What was that?
I did a project with Eli where, remember, like, Bill, do you remember back in the 80s when Bob Hope would do his Christmas special and they would introduce the All-Americans?
Yeah.
And they would run out and they're like, I'm Steve Young, BYU quarterback.
I love those.
We like kind of redid that and modernized it. It was awesome. It's coming soon.
Oh, great. Can't
Yeah.
wait. All right, thanks. And then Craig, Ringer Fantasy Football Podcast. This is when it becomes essential. We are now in August.
That's right.
This is it.
Like week 2 of training camp. There was a real football game last night. You know, lots going on. Trey
Craig,
Lance
who's
is
the
back.
number 1 overall pick?
It's
Who is it?
Jamar Chase or Saquon.
Really, at receiver? Not Bijan. I'm hearing about him. No.
I'm not taking a receiver with the number 1 pick. I'm sorry.
I
I'm not going to be in a draft with the number 1 pick because I don't still pick my nose and eat it. I'm an adult with a wife and a family and a job.
Bill, we're doing Snake for our live draft. I just want you to know that. We have to.
All right. I'll get some boogers ready. I can pick them on the live show. Are we really doing Snake?
Yeah, we have for a live stream. The auction. I mean, that an offline auction is really difficult to pull off.
I guess we got to do it. Can we call it the first annual Ringer Booger Eater Fantasy Football Draft?
Sounds good.
That could be the name of the league.
All right. That sounds good. Who's the most polarizing fantasy football guy this year? Do we have one?
I mean,
is it Justin Fields?
Kyle Pitts and Anthony Richardson, run it back.
No, Kyle Pitts isn't polarizing anymore. There's no.
He's going to be sitting there, Bill.
Up.
He's going to be
Everyone's
sitting there in
up.
like the 7th round, and you're like, he's got such upside. He's so fast.
No, nobody thinks that anymore.
For how cheap they are basically going undrafted now, which is why they're starting to get interesting. The other team is the Dolphins. It's like, is Tyreek Hill over the hill? Devon Achane, when he's with Tua, he's the best fantasy running back in the league. When he's not with Tua, he's one of the worst. Dolphins are really hard to predict right now.
So it's not Justin Fields?
No, I think Fields actually is like kind of a high floor pick because of his his rushing
I think people
ability.
think he's going to be like a massive quarterback
this
run year.
The most in the league.
He might rush for like 1,500 yards.
Yeah, I mean, they're committing to him. There's not a real strong backup situation. Like if he plays 17 games, he's going to be a top 10 quarterback. He just will.
Yeah, I think to me, he's a polarizer one. JJ McCarthy would be another one.
He's a polarizer one for sure.
Well, because it's like, could you just plug and play him with the Sam Darnold stats? It's the same offense.
It's a huge risk. All the Justin Jefferson even, it's like, how much do you going to take him 2nd overall with JJ McCarthy? What if he's terrible?
Where do you have Ed 209 in the rankings right now? Is he in the top 100?
Yeah, he just cracked it. He's right next to Kyle Pitts.
I would rather take Ed 209 than Kyle Pitts and go through
Kyle
it again.
Pitts is the Ed 209 of fantasy players. It's so true. That should be his nickname.
All right, Kyle Brandt, great to see you as always. We're going to try to do one more of these in the next, I feel like we haven't done a Stallone in a while. I'm just going to say that.
Let's put meat on that bone. Let's see what we can find.
There's some Stallone meat left. Anyway, great to see you. Thanks, Craig.
Always great to be here.